Hello everyone and welcome back to the Great Book of Grudges. My name is Nathan and we're back with another Total War Warhammer video. A bunch of new units are joining the Lizardmen roster through the Silence and the Fury DLC, which is going to drop on the 14th of July. Many of which were highly requested, and there were also some surprises. Each of them have their own battlefield role, and some of them even have their own special abilities, so what I wanted to do in this video is take the time to go over them in detail, how to recruit them, and how exactly do they work in the battlefield. There are a bunch of different things that we need to discuss, so let's not waste any more time and jump right in. Let's start off with the Skink Oracle, a new hero character for the Lizardmen. This is a hybrid spellcaster unit with a few spells from various different lores. In fact, it would be quite weak on the battlefield if it wasn't for the fact that it's mounted atop of a Troglodon. So not only does it have access to a few spells that it can use on the battlefield, but it's mounted atop of a rather vicious monstrous mount. Skink Oracles are also extremely fast moving. The fact that they also cause terror because of their mount will make them very useful on the battlefield. Many low leadership units such as Skaven will start to suffer against these guys, and they will do a lot of damage to them too. To be able to recruit the Skink Oracle, you're going to need the second tier of the Shrine of the Old Ones, which is going to require you to build up a settlement at tier 4. Thankfully, Oxyotl starts with one at the beginning of his campaign, so at least you'll be able to test them out as soon as you begin your campaign with the Ninja Skinky Boy. As I'd said before, they have a mixture of different spells. Most of these are fairly low tier, though all of them are pretty useful. Wind Blast, Earth Blood, Fireball, all of them do have a lot of uses in the battlefield. Though it's important to note that the Oracle's main form of damage output is not really spellcasting, but rather how it synergizes with this monster. You can also use a bunch of skill points to make the Troglodon much more terrifying, increasing its missile damage, its range, its melee output, its armor, and then later down the line focus around being more of a buff-focused hero. Yes, the Troglodon and the Skink Oracle will act as a buff hero, having a primeval raw ability which will increase the melee attack of all allies in range and self by 24. And also some hefty leadership aura buffs too. However, the majority of these skills in this section of the tree too are focused around doing damage also, speed and charge bonuses, which will be rather useful. If you prefer to want to doomstack these but don't want too many Skink Oracles in your army for some reason, you can also get Troglodons in a feral state. Subject to Rampage, but very easily able to be doomstacked, the feral Troglodons come in two different flavors, the standard recruitable one, and of course the Pale Death, a unique regiment of renown. As you can tell from their stats, they are very well armored, have decently high leadership, are quite fast too, and have a decent charge bonus. The fact that they can also spit as they run into their enemies also means that they'll be able to do quite a decent amount of damage as they're getting there too. 120 range isn't that bad either. Let's just take the time now to look at a quick clip of them charging into my favorite trash mobs, zombies. Feral Troglodons will take a while to recruit, as it's in the same tree as the majority of all your other monsters. It will require a level 5 settlement, and of course a level 5 tier building, so it's going to be a while until you can start getting these blind doomstacks. A new regiment of renown is also available here, Gelt's Bomb Terror. I am pretty sure I am mispronouncing that, though that's what my research showed online. It's a feral carnosaur which interestingly enough is not subject to Rampage. The fact that it's also got Vanguard deployment too will make it absolutely terrifying on the battlefield, especially if you can get into an ambush fight with Oxyotl. Stat-wise itself is also pretty good, and since it doesn't have Rampage you won't have to babysit it all the time. Next up we have the Koto, or Coattail, whichever way works. An extremely ancient creature often referred to as an avatar of one of the Lizardmen gods. Not only that, but it's not been seen as a playable mini in so long. This is a flying monster which is very interesting in how it plays in the battlefield. Not only does it have access to a few bound spells, but also has access to Master of the Sacred Plaques. This means as it flies over allies, it can bestow stalk upon them, meaning that you can keep your units as hidden as possible as you get closer and closer to your enemy lines. There are of course two different versions, the standard Coattail, which you can recruit into a Doomstack, and the Spirit of Tepok, which is a regiment of renown, which even has different spells than the standard one too, so you get some variety. You'll be able to recruit these majestic monsters in your tier 4 settlements, in the same tree as those of the Ripidactyls and Pterodons. It will take a while to get these, but they are of a very high power level, so it does make sense. Now, let's just show them off against some zombies too, because it's actually really satisfying. Last but not least, we have the Chameleon Stalkers, a new shock infantry unit with precursor missile weapons, vanguard deployment, chameleon and dodge. These are fast moving infantry, and if you're looking for a chameleon skink type of army build, these are your front line. Able to dish out damage with relative problem, and also have a short range weapon which they can throw right before they get into combat. These guys are the perfect embodiment of guerrilla warfare, and they do a fair amount of damage too. They might not be the strongest unit available, but they are very thematic, especially for this DLC. Chameleon Stalkers can be recruited fairly early on, only needing a tier 2 settlement and of course a tier 2 skink building, which is the same tier as that of the skink chiefs, so you're going to be killing two birds with one stone. But now let's just check out how much damage they can do against zombies. I'd say the Lizardmen portion of the DLC is bringing units from all different types of aspects that were needed, especially the large monsters. So there's a bit of something in regards to the Lizardmen for everyone really, I'd say. But before we start showcasing the Beastmen in the next video, which unit are you most excited to play with in the Lizardmen roster when this DLC launches on the 14th? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and let's start a bit of a discussion. But with that, my friends, we've come to the end of our video. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, might I suggest giving the video a like, or even subscribing to the channel, as it really does help us out. In the description section below are various links to different social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram and Discord. Also in the description section is an affiliate link with Element Games where you could buy loads of hobby-based products, not just Warhammer, for 10 to 25% off. Making a purchase using that link and also our special code, which is also in the description, supports the channel at no extra cost to you, which we think is rather cool. A big thank you to our patrons. Your support means the world to us. It's amazing that people want to help a small channel like us grow and get to a higher level of content. A big thank you to Gibraltar LUSC, Ryan Bertsche, Andrew Prince and Okro for subscribing to us at our Fane level. You guys are super cool. And a big thank you to Edward Yule, VS Vasan, Aaron Whitman and Shaggy for subscribing to us at our King level. Honestly, we can't thank you all enough. And lastly, a big thank you to all of you for liking, sharing and commenting on these videos. Honestly, it's because of you guys that the channel has been growing at such a great pace lately, so we can't thank you all enough. But with that, my friends, thank you so much for watching once again, and we shall see you all again very soon. Have a good day.